Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. So let's start the session without any further ado. Before that, a formal introduction on my end. My name is Mohammed Shoaib. I'm a cybersecurity trainer certified from EC Council in CEH web application pen testing and SOC analysis. So our session on today will be on certified ethical hacking version 11, the latest version for the course from EC Council. This is the course which is taken by people who are completely new to the cybersecurity. Okay. Now, before I start the session, this is a common question that I ask all the participants. In your perspective, according to you, what do you think hacking is? Okay, again, it's not necessary that you give me an exact definitive or book answers, guys. Whatever comes to your mind, just to know your perspective on it. Can you tell me what is hacking? Okay, let's keep this session a bit interactive and fun rather than keeping this one-sided. So if anyone has any answers, please go ahead. Don't feel shy to give any answers.
Stealing the personal information without authenticity.
Great, that's a great answer, Hanumanta. Any other answers, guys? It's exactly to the point. There's nothing wrong in that. Stealing information without someone's permission. Okay. Any other answers? I hope you are able to hear me, guys. Aditya, Durga Prasad, Nikhil Prasad, VV Prasad Rao. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Are there any audio issues? Okay, guys. So just me building up on the information that Hanumanta has given me. When we talk about hacking, this is nothing but the procedure of trying to gain information or access to information devices. Okay. Now these information devices could be anything. There could be as small as a mobile device to as big as a web application server also, or a database. Okay. And in the procedure of hacking, we try to gain access to these devices without the permission, just like Hanumanta has mentioned, without the permission or the consent of the organization running these systems. Okay. And this is usually performed by hackers for their own benefit. So once they get access, they can steal the data, destroy the data, or just sell it. Or after downloading it or remotely accessing it, they can just sell it on the dark web. Now, if hacking seems such a malicious task, why do we have a course called ethical hacking? It's the next question. Okay, because ethical is something which is completely legal, which is abiding by the laws and policies of the organization. Right. So when you talk about ethical hacking, on the other hand, this is a procedure of trying to find the vulnerabilities. Okay. A vulnerability is nothing but a loophole or a flaw in the information system. And this is done with the permission of the organization. So this is done in order to report the vulnerabilities after finding them so that the authority can patch them up. Okay. So your job as an ethical hacker would be to find these weaknesses before the hacker does. And once you find any weaknesses, report it back. So that once it is reported, the organization will apply the appropriate patches for it. And that will close the doorway for the hacker. Okay. And thereby, with ethical hacking, you're trying to increase the security of the infrastructure. I hope these two definitions are clear, guys. What is hacking and how is it different from ethical hacking on the other hand? Okay. So in a real-time scenario, when you want to work for a white-collar job, you would never say that you're performing hacking. You would say that you are performing ethical hacking, or you're an ethical hacker or a penetration tester. Okay. So any questions in these two definitions, guys? What is hacking or what is ethical hacking? I hope these two are clear. Any questions for anyone? Hanumanta, VV Prasad. Okay, guys, I hope you can hear me. Anyways, proceeding further, depending on these two definitions, we can categorize the various types of hackers as well. So basically, to just distinguish them, there are three types of hackers. There's someone known as a black hat hacker, there's someone known as a gray hat hacker, and finally, there's someone known as a white hat hacker. Okay, a black hat hacker is someone who performs hacking for his own benefit. Okay, and again, he does this without asking for permission. On the other hand, the hero of the story is a white hat hacker, also known as an ethical hacker, who abides by the laws and policies of the organization, who abides by the law and works for securing the organization's infrastructure. Okay, he tries to perform pen testing, tries to find the vulnerabilities and reports them back to patch it and increase the security. In between, there's also a third category of hackers known as gray hat hackers. Now, these guys are quite mysterious and they have both the qualities of a black hat hacker as well as a white hat hacker. So like a black hat hacker, they don't ask for permission before trying to perform pen testing. Okay. But once they find a vulnerability, like a white hat hacker, they will report it back. They won't take advantage of it, but they try to report it back. And obviously they don't do it for free. So once they report the vulnerability back, they ask for a bounty in return. Okay. And that bounty could be anything. It could be a prize reward or a reputational reward or anything. Excuse me. Now, all these three hackers, whether that be a black hat hacker or a gray hat hacker or a white hat hacker, perform the steps of hacking or ethical hacking in a set of procedures. Okay, and these set of procedures are known as hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Okay, our whole course of cybersecurity or CEH certified ethical hacking is going to comprise of these steps in the hacking cycle. Okay, so various organizations might categorize these steps into various numbers, but if I had to summarize it, there are 5 important steps. Okay, first step is known as information gathering. It can also be called as reconnaissance or footprinting. Second step is scanning. It can also be called as enumeration. Third step is gaining access. Fourth step is maintaining access. And the last step is reporting or clearing traces. The reason why I've specifically mentioned or in the last step is because that is where it makes all the difference between a white hat hacker and a black hat hacker. Okay, a white hat hacker would try to perform reporting where he reports all the steps from the first step till the last step. In a black hat hacker scenario, he does not report it, but he tries to remove all the evidences, which is nothing but clearing traces. Okay, now guys, up to this, before I proceed further. Okay, guys. Now let's briefly discuss each of these steps so that you can have a clear picture of what all topics we'll be discussing in the course. Okay, so the first topic, which is information gathering, is nothing but as the name itself says, trying to gain as much information as possible about the target passively. Now, what I mean by passively is that you try to get this information from third-party sources. You do not make any active connections. You do not directly contact the organization, but get the information from other websites. Okay, and you could ask me, sure, what kind of information are we actually trying to gain over here? And the information is as follows. So we try to gain information such as the IP address information, the range of IPs used by the organization, their whose records are nothing but who's hosting that website, since when it has been hosted, when was it last updated, their DNS records, like for their IP address and mail server or any other database IPs, their employee details like the contact numbers, their email addresses and whatnot. Okay. Finally, you also try to get the usernames and passwords if there is any leaked information on the internet. Okay. All this information is gained from the internet without directly contacting the organization. So if I give you a very basic example, let's say if I wanted to get the email addresses for a specific organization, all I have to do is go to a website called hunter.io. Okay. And this website is capable of giving you emails for any organization of your choice. So if I search for wipro.com, this will give me the Wipro's employees email addresses. As you can see, these are all the emails of working professionals of wipro.com. Okay, so these can be used by a hacker to perform phishing attacks or send phishing emails. Okay, and these are exactly working emails, and you can notice what specific post they are working for: general manager, regional director, general manager, IT management, and so on. Okay, now just like that, for other information as well, we have different resources on the internet where only hackers or ethical hackers might know about. Okay, so in the information gathering step, we'll try to get all this information from different sources. Okay, and you would be shocked to know that such information is readily available on the internet for anyone to access it so freely. Okay, after information gathering, we'll be going to the scanning step. Now, this is an advanced technique where you make active connections with the target. So you send some packets to the organization server, and in response to those packets, you get some extra information. Okay, so when we talk about scanning, there's 3 types of scannings basically. There's network scanning, port scanning, and vulnerability scanning. Okay, in network scanning and port scanning, we try to figure out in the local network of the organization what devices are active, and on those devices what ports are open or what services are running. Once you know the ports are open and the services running, you perform vulnerability scanning using automated tools. Okay, so in that vulnerability scan, you can figure out on their devices what vulnerabilities are there, which you can attack. So in this scanning phase, you're using very important real-time based tools, real-time scenario tools like Nessus. So if I show you an example, I have Nessus running on my local device on this port number 8834. Okay, and this is a real-time scenario tool used on organizations. So if I just log into my Nessus account, and this is how your Nessus tool looks like. And when you perform scanning, it shows you in your own local network what devices have what kinds of vulnerabilities, critical, high vulnerabilities, and so on. Okay, and you can generate your reports also. Depending on the report, you will understand on your network, is there any system which is vulnerable? And again, this is a real-time based scenario tool, Nessus, which is used in real organizations. Okay. After the scanning part, we'll be diving into the next topic, which is gaining access. Now, gaining access is a huge concept where we'll be covering a vast variety of topics. Okay. But to give you a brief, these are the list of topics where we'll be covering vast, huge varieties of topics from system hacking, Windows hacking to mobile hacking as well. So I'll show you how to hack or crack any Windows operating system password in the system hacking class. I'll show you how malware attacks can be performed, what are the different types of malwares, and how do you create these malwares, how do you defend yourself from these malwares, and then network attacks, how to perform sniffing, man in the middle, denial of service, how to hack Wi-Fi routers, how to create fake login pages and perform phishing attacks, and how to check vulnerabilities on websites with web applications, and so on. Finally, there's also a topic called hacking mobile phones, where I'll show you Android pen testing, how to create malwares for Android phones, and how to attack Android phones. Finally, there's after gaining access, maintaining access, where I'll show you how you can maintain persistent connections with the target. And then finally, reporting or clearing resist, where I'll show you how you can generate a report and how you can clear all the evidences also. Okay. Now, as a browser for the course, I'll be sharing these files. Again, DurgaSoft itself might share this file, as I've told you. Since not everyone is from the computer background, before we dive into the advanced concepts, we'll have a few introductory classes as well, where I teach you all the important concepts like virtualization, basics of networking, basics of Linux and Windows commands, and basic Windows Server configuration. After all these introductory concepts are done, only then we'll dive into the advanced concepts. So for the course, you don't need to learn anything separately from outside. You can completely start the course fresh without any prior knowledge. So there are no prerequisites required. Whatever prerequisites are there that are included, those are included already in the course. Okay. So again, duration of the course, CEH is going to take for around 35 to 40 days, where we will have classes from Monday to Friday, every day for 1 hour, and it'll be on the same time, 6 p.m. So tomorrow as well, I'll be taking a demo class. And from day after tomorrow, we'll be starting the first class of ethical hacking, basic networking concepts. Okay. So in case, if you want to attend a demo again, you can attend the demo tomorrow as well. And if you want to join the course, you can join it from day after tomorrow. Okay. Or much better, we can take, I guess tomorrow is Thursday and Friday. 2 days we'll be taking the demo sessions, guys. And from Monday, we'll start the course, if that's okay. So that we don't have a gap in between. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we'll be having our demo sessions regularly. And from Monday, we'll be starting the new course, the new batch at the same time, 6 p.m. Okay. So this file will be shared with you separately by DurgaSoft itself. So if you have any technical queries in any of these topics, here's my number, which will be shared by DurgaSoft as well. Or if you want to make a note, you can note it down, 76800696768. Although if you have any queries regarding the fees part or the timing change part or anything, please contact the Institute, DurgaSoft. Okay. So yeah, we can have a small Q&A session, guys. If anyone has any questions, you can let me know on any of these topics or any other part of the course. If not, we can end the session.
Hi, Ashok here.
Hi, Ashok. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Actually, mainly I'm concentrating on the application security part actually. So, will this help me to be involved in application security, right?
Application in the sense you're talking about web application security?
Right.
This course is only going to cover the basics of web application security, Ashok. Although usually I take classes separately for web application as well, since DurgaSoft has not yet included them. So if there's any queries regarding this, you can contact me on my number, 768006976.
One. Okay.
But it will be including it very short.
Sure. Okay. I will call you.
Sure. No worries about that. Any other questions, guys, regarding the CEH course specifically? Or any topics regarding the CEH course?
For cybersecurity and ethical hacking, this much information enough, sir?
Cybersecurity is a domain, Hanumanta. Under cybersecurity, you have different streams. There's ethical hacking, there's network pen testing, mobile pen testing, and IoT pen testing, and so on. So it's the domain. So one of the topics under cybersecurity is ethical hacking, where ethical hacking is a comprehensive course which covers all the topics in up to basic or intermediate level. After that, if you want to specialize in any other part, you can specialize. You have different streams after that. Okay, so you can't become a complete cybersecurity expert by one single course. You have to choose a specialization after certified ethical hacking. So one of the specializations offered by DurgaSoft is web application pen testing. Okay, again, there's others also, mobile pen testing or wireless pen testing, and so on. Okay, so when you talk about ethical hacking, this is the course. When you talk about cyber security, it's like the domain. Okay, just like networking is a domain. Under networking, you have levels of courses: CCNA, CCNP, CCIE, and all that. Similar format. Okay.
Okay, sir. What approximate fees, sir?
Again, the fees part, you will have to contact institute itself, Hanumanta. I am only concerned with the teaching part. Okay, so
Okay,
if
sir.
there's any queries regarding the fees or the timing or the batch date allotment, please contact the institute. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Technical queries regarding the topics and all, please let me know.
okay, sir. Thank you.
So yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing more. Yeah, I hope you have enjoyed like the demo. Again, we'll take a much longer demo session tomorrow as well. If possible, I'll try to include any basic practical concepts like information gathering and so. So if you want to join the demo, you can join tomorrow and after tomorrow as well at the same time. And from Monday, we'll be starting the course, the first class at the same time, 6 p.m. itself. Okay. So yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing more. I hope I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.